right. Good morning, everybody. Let me, I'm going to drop the agenda into the chat once I find there it is. There we go. And I'll also share my screen for that. Sorry, I use Teams at work way more than Zoom, so give me just a second. Okay, there we go. My name is Elizabeth Sanders. I am the chair-elect of Godort as well as the committee chair for the programming slash Kenya Flash committee. Um, we have the three other members here. If y'all would like to introduce yourselves real quick, and then we'll go ahead and get started.
Hi, I'm Sarah Erickson. I'm the Regional Government Documents Librarian at the University of Florida and a member of the Programming Committee and Kenya Flash Committee.
Who's going next?
I guess you, because you
Should I
spoke.
say something? Yeah, it was just
Yeah.
awkward silence there. So, yeah, I'm Jim Church. I'm more or less a member of all of the same. It's the best of my knowledge, although it gets murky.
Who's left? Jennifer Horn is here from Pipper. She's with us. Thank you, Jennifer.
Yeah.
Okay. I cannot see the full list of attendees, so if I say somebody's here and they're not here, sorry. Um, I'm going to move us on to the Kenya Flash lecture series planning. We have three wonderful speakers who have agreed to join us. I'm very excited. Nick Wansala is the inaugural Kenya Flash resident at Yale Libraries. Reese Nelson is the coordinator of, let me correct my own typo there, Kenya Flash residency at Yale. Um, and then Diane Brown is a collaborator of with them. The um, the lecture will take place on Tuesday, July 14th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, which is all the other times you see here, 12 p.m. Central, 11 a.m. Mountain, 10 a.m. Pacific, and it's an hour and a half. We do have the registration link. It does not have the information yet about the speakers. That is something on our to-do list. And that's why I have the need to email information about speakers to update. So, um, there is an honorarium for the speakers. I reached out to all three of the speakers. Nick Wansala is going to accept on their behalf, and the information to get that started, like the fillable, sorry, kitty cat, the
Yeah.
fillable W-2 form, and I CC'd both the ALA representative from Pippers and Godort and all the committee members to make sure that this goes smoothly. The things that we still need to do are to gather the bios and images for the speaker so that we can create the advertising pieces that we want to do and update the ALA registration link, actually advertise the lecture series, hold the lecture, and then ensure the recording is preserved and made available on Godort. I'm going to make a note to myself here to ask Danielle about that. And because I've never done the process of like making sure it gets recorded and everything. I want to make sure I do it right. So, um, anybody have any questions, concerns, feedback?
Elizabeth, when do you expect all the things to be up on the website?
I hope for things to be up on the website um no later than the end of June. I know that's still kind of late when it's only like 2 weeks afterwards,
Yeah.
but I'm hoping to get the information next week and then get everything pushed out, which means I'll need to, oops. There we go. Notes for myself.
We already, it went out in our most recent Pippers
Okay.
newsletter, the
Okay.
date and the registration, and it's going out to the listserv again next week. So we've
Nice.
promoted it on our end.
Thank you very much.
Elizabeth, did we send out a save the date recently? I seem to remember, but can't recall right now. To
I
to like to the Godot list.
I don't remember, but I can definitely do that.
So maybe a message to gov.gal as well as to all of the ALEC Connect stuff that no one
Hmm.
reads. But probably a good idea.
Got it. And I put my little note ES to indicate that I'm the one that is going to be doing that. It's just how my brain works. Kitty. Sorry, animals easily distract me. Um, Moving on to the programming for educational programs, I'm very excited that we have not only the chairs program, but an accepted program. The Godort Chairs program is 150 years of government information at ALA, sesquicentennial, maybe, of government documents librarianship. That will be Saturday, June 27th from 2:30 to 3:30 at McCormick Place, um, W193B. The speakers are Sarah Erickson of our committee, Bernadine Abadet Hodusky, longtime government document librarian and Godort member, and Judith Russell, who another longtime Godort member. Both of them participated in um, an oral history, excuse me, project, and I'm unfortunately I will not be there because I could only afford to go Sunday and Monday, but I'm very excited that this will be offered as part of the history, not just with the 150 years of Godort, but the 250, I'm sorry, yeah, 250 years of the United States. So very serendipitous. And Sarah, thank you for chairing as well as presenting for that.
Yeah, and I'm just going to give you a sneak peek, guys. Like public documents, the government documents have been like key to the founding of ALA. Like we were a committee, a standing committee of the American Library Association before any other section or division, basically. So, it's that it's going to be exciting to make some of these connections. Tonight,
Sorry, I was just going to say I was trying to find the clapping emoji because I think that's wonderful. And it
yeah,
gets lost in light of what's happening with Godart right now, kind of feeling attacked. I know everybody feels attacked, but we certainly do.
yeah, I mean, um, yeah, I don't know if we can do something that tells Big Ale how important we are, but we
Mhm.
definitely,
Yeah.
should
Yes.
should be,
Well, one of the things that I mean, this is off the top of my head, not having thought it out at all, but when you do these conferences, they ask you for feedback. So if members of this like of this program, um, put in their thing like, hey, this highlighted how important Godord is, y'all really should be supporting them more. That feedback has to get to somebody. It may not actually result in change, but it's a mechanism. Similarly, we could do a short write-up of what was presented for publication in Documents to the People, um, for those unable to attend, and that could in that you could also be like, hey, if you want to let ALA know, write to them and tell them how great we are. COG notes.
Oh, real quick, I did want to make sure that we had microphones and
Mhm.
ideally the ability to sit while speaking at the live microphone. I think that, and then I'm gonna do slides too. So I'm
Mhm.
not sure if but I'm thinking that if it's at McCormick Place, maybe those things have been provided. Um, but yeah, I want to make it comfortable for all of our speakers
Mhm.
and also sneak peek, there's photos. I found digital images of some of the people you guys probably want to see.
Elizabeth Cognotes is the conference notes publication. Uh,
Okay,
And I was
okay.
saying, and I know it's hard probably to get on that, but considering the significance of the 150th year and the standing committee, if we, I don't know how that process happens, but if we could get on their radar, if that's possible.
Hmm. Okay. Possibly. Uh, and Andy says, I suggest following up with Danielle for setups to make sure the spaces are for the meeting. Yeah, I know that for I don't know if it's different for different places, but the general thing is that if you're bringing slides, you need to have them on a flash drive, and I know that I have to go look. But yeah, this is I'm glad that this is I will try and follow up on this. Oops. The other educational program that was accepted is Government Information Lifeguards, Preserving Public Access to Our Nation's Digital Resources. That's Monday, June 29th from 9 to 10, also in McCormick Place, but in a different room. And our speakers are James Jacobs, the co-founder for Free Government Information and the U.S. Government Information Librarian at Stanford, Dr. Linda Kellum, the co-founder of the Data Rescue Project and Director of Research Data and Digital Scholarship at University of Pennsylvania, and Peter Musser. I'm going to ask him to make sure that's how you pronounce it before I actually try to. Head of Library Services for the Institute for the Study of Knowledge Management and Education, and this has been kind of a big area of interest for GovDoc land, and I think a lot of people who aren't maybe traditionally drawn to government documents because of how far the impacts are and in so many different ways. I know that Rare and Endangered for their meeting had a great presentation that had some updates about like here's things that went away, here's things that went away and came back changed, and some other things. I will be there for this one, acting as the moderator, and that means that all the things for this about checking about the space, I will also need to do for this. But I'm very excited and proud that we're going to be having these two very different but both equally important conversations. There are other Godort events that are not educational programs and thus outside of like what we do as the committee, but I wanted to point them out. There's Getting to Know Gov Docs Roundtable, GoDort 101 on Friday. There's the general membership meeting on Saturday. Happy hour, that is an informal social gathering between Godort and Pippers, and that's on Saturday. And on Sunday, there's the Godort award ceremony and reception. Excuse me. Um, but I put the link so you could get that information in the notes. Um, yes, Andy says, I'm excited. Godort has all these programs who are well represented. I agree. And I'm also very grateful to everyone, the other steering committee members, any committee member, education committee, our people with Pippers, the development committee that arranged the sponsor for the reception for the award ceremony. I mean, it has been a very intellectually and emotionally challenging time for librarians in general, but also in Godort especially. And not to go all solar punk a little, but it's these little moments of seeing that we can still move forward and advance that make me feel a lot better about the future. And, we're all struggling together. I don't know. That makes me feel better. Maybe it doesn't make anyone else feel better. It makes me feel better. Oh, oops, sorry, wrong. There it is. Sorry, I went back to the actual correct thing. Okay. I know that that was a very quick run through update, but does anybody have any questions, comments, concerns about anything with the committee?
Um, I just wanted to say that our speakers for the Kenya Flash
Hmm.
series emailed and wanted to join this meeting. So I sent over the link and registration. So hopefully they'll be able to hop on soon.
Okay. Well, that's wonderful. And well, while we're waiting for that, I will say a little bit about there will be a new chair for the committee. Um, this is my last meeting, I guess, as the chair as I move into the chair of Godort itself with incredibly big shoes to fill from Julia, who has done such a fantastic job, but who I'm very grateful will be there as my past chair. Um, but I've been very grateful for the assistance of all my committee members because they have such vast amounts of knowledge about how to organize these things and how to reach out to people, have reached out to so many people, and I just wanted to thank them for their work because none of this gets done without them. Yes, I'll go back up to Kenya. I'm going to wait a few more minutes to see if our speakers can join us, and at that time we may um, hammer out a few of these details about getting whatever information. But for
Oh,
those of you who,
Just to let you know,
but
if you're
yeah,
talking about us, we're here.
yeah, we're here.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
The
Diane is
way,
not able to join us today after all, but yeah,
okay.
we received a Teams
Oh,
message
I am so
instead of so
sorry.
yeah, so we were
Okay.
on for 12 on the Teams call.
Got it. Got it. Sorry, that's my
No, that's okay.
mistake. For some reason, when I send calendar invites, it automatically adds team links, and I didn't mean for to. Anyway, um,
And then I just realized that both Nick and I are appearing as Sarah Erickson. So
Yeah.
probably why you didn't see that we were we were here. I'm gonna
okay. All right.
rename myself.
Yeah,
Well,
I put a message in the chat, but it came up as Sarah, so that's probably why you were
okay.
like,
Okay. All right. All right. Technology issues abound, but everyone, I am very pleased to introduce Reese Nelson and Nick Wansala, who will be two of our three speakers for the Kenya Flash virtual lecture series. Um, Again, apologies for the confusion. We went over the details that we had already decided about, the date and time, um, things that we still needed to do, uh, which is all listed here, like gathering the bios and speakers, updating the registration link with that information.
Mhm.
Um, and then we talked about our educational programs for the ALA 2026 conference and looked at the LibGuide for um, the other Godot events. So rather than repeating information, I am glad to give y'all this time to talk a little bit about what your lecture will be about.
Sure. And I had mentioned in my email to you that I'm going to send today the bios, the photo. We took a group shot last week, so I'll send those over, and also the program description. So this will all be a lot clearer then. I serve, again, my name is Risa Nelson, and I serve as the Director of Staff Development and Engagement at Yale Library. Um, I have been at Yale Library for about 4 years now and at Yale University for almost 11 now. I'm from New Haven, and I'm mentioning all of this because it is a major reason for why I developed the residency in the way that I did. This residency was named after Kenya Flash, who was a librarian, a beloved librarian at Mark's Library here, sciences and social sciences, and she was one of the mentors in a program that I had created, back in 2016 and ran for a few years in partnership with Yale Library and with the Smithsonian's National Museum of African American History and Culture. And it was to help prepare underrepresented undergraduate students for and introduce them, first of all, and then familiarize them and prepare them for archival research, academic research careers. So I kind of used my experience from that, my connections from around the university, and my interactions with Kenya and knowing her commitments and her passions, especially for student success, and just overall engagement to then develop this residency, which was created before I actually joined Yale Library. Was created 2 weeks before I even interviewed for my position, but they handed it to me and agreed that this role, the resident would help support my area. We did a very, very quick search. I think it was what, Nick, like 2 months, maybe, if that.
yeah, about 2 months, yeah.
Yeah, so the timeline, I kind of charged it. And knowing that Nick was interested in community librarianship, I connected him in a kind of informal apprenticeship with Diane Brown, who is the branch manager at the Stetson Library, which is one of the branches of the New Haven Free Public Library. And so it's a 3-year residency. And the point of it was to prepare an early career librarian for the rest of their career in any area that they chose. And their choice would be really informed by their exploration that they did in this position. So it required a lot of mentoring, networking. We did a lot of professional development. Nick had a really strong network both on campus, across our city, and even across the nation, to work through the residency, to think about some next steps professionally. And so it was kind of getting the residents' feet wet with this work on campus that is specific, like for the library, for our community engagement initiatives, but also to provide that kind of experiential learning and networking opportunities as well. So that's kind of the overview, but the presentation will really be on, like, we'll explain the residency, how it came about, how it was designed, the intended outcomes, but we really want to focus on the impact, both for Nick, for me as the supervisor, for the library overall, for New Haven Free Public Library, and for the profession, the fields overall, and help our viewers think about, if they were to create or supervise a residency or internship or fellowship, think about how they might go about that in ways that that are kind of innovative, that are more collaborative, and that are also iterative, and really bolster the interests of the resident and speak to that, but also fill very, some key needs as well for the either institution or library organization. So that's kind of it in a nutshell.
All right, thank you very much. I am very excited that y'all will be joining us, and I hope everybody else is as excited as I am. Does anybody have any questions? Or Risay and Nick, do y'all have any questions for me or the committee? I think we've kind of nailed down all the next steps um, pretty much going forward.
Yeah, I think the logistics are set. And like I said, I'll send those items over to you shortly. That's pretty much it. Is there a presenter link that needs to be sent to Nick, Diane, and me specifically? That's one question. And I'm going to send a reminder over to Kenya's family, so that they can join as well. And we're going to send this out to the library, like library-wide, and to our friends over at the New Haven Free Public Library too. And I'm just wondering, are there, like, is there a set list of folks who we should be promoting this to as well?
I'm going to jump in and say, I think that we have through the ALA room that we'll be in, we have enough to have more the merrier, So I think all of the above sounds good in terms of who you're inviting. If there's like a statewide group that you would invite as well, like public libraries or academic libraries of in Connecticut. But yeah, it's a very open space where we have had folks of various backgrounds, so that it's not necessarily, I guess maybe the first year was a little academic in terms of the topic and the presentation, but No, I think everybody will get something out of this.
Thank you, y'all.
Yeah, and as far as like a list of who to send to, I think that that kind of plays into what Sarah said. Whoever you think would be interested in hearing about it, um, we are gonna post it in the Godort website and through GovDocL, which is a GovDoc listserv. Um, I'm also gonna send it to, I should put this down so I don't forget, but the residency interest group that I'm also a part of in
That's
ACRL, because I think that there may be people that would benefit from hearing about this. But yeah, just whomever you think would want to come. I don't think there's a set list per se.
okay. All right. That is awesome. And I'm glad you're sending it out to the residency group. This I was very intentional. One of the folks who co-wrote the toolkit was a resident here, is now a full-time member, has been here. Michelle Peralta has been here a few years. I also asked her to serve on the advisory committee for the residency, and I used that toolkit also to inform the design of this experience. So that is great. And I'll speak to
And
all of that in the presentation too.
yeah, as far as is there a presenter link versus the registration link, I'm honestly not sure. So I added it to my list of things to ask
Okay.
whenever I contact Danielle, who is our ALA rep, and Kelly, who is most often our Zoom tech help.
Okay.
And if I find that there is, I will let you know.
Okay. Thank you.
Is this a webinar or a meeting format?
I think it was planned as a webinar format,
Okay.
but then at the end there's time for Q&A, so people can write into the Q&A, the chat there.
I can't remember. I think that, did we do that in the past as a webinar? Because of course, if there is a webinar, then you have special access, and then you do have, the ability to control things that not everybody else can. So
Mhm,
that very much depends if it's webinar or meeting. But yeah, I
mhm.
think webinar is better for these things.
Yeah.
It's more of like a lecture presentation. So I would say, yeah, the webinar, you would have your own special powerful link.
Okay.
Different from everybody else's.
Okay.
And whoever's doing the Zoom controls can enable or disable various things. And
Mhm.
Q&A is better than, something we like to do.
It's helpful.
So we should probably get a Q&A person too, right, guys? Elizabeth, and appoint a Q&A person to handle the questions as they come in, because the speakers usually don't have time to go over that
Mm.
as as the presentation unfolds.
Mhm.
Yeah. Um, that the 14th, I will be traveling to ACRL Immersion, so I hope to be able to be there for the series, but I don't know for sure because flying is crazy right now, and I don't know what's going to happen when I go to the airport.
Yeah.
Um, so Sarah, Jim, y'all, one of y'all might be better to act as this person, the Q&A person, just in case I can't be there.
We'll have to meet and settle this before. I mean, we're busy doing ALA right now, but presumably
Right.
before the 14th,
Let's
we
survive
should
this.
sort of do ALA first, and then we'll get together and make sure this is coordinated.
All right. Sounds good. Anything else before we adjourn the meeting? All right.
Oh, I had a quick question about organization of this group
Mm-hmm.
after the the committee joins with other groups. Or is it we're basically just going to be getting more committee members. Is that how that was going to work? Is Julia here? There's Julia.
Yeah, so this committee, I believe, is going to get rolled into the education committee, and so it's going to become the educational initiatives committee. So you all will merge with the members of education, and so more people to spread out the work.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah, and I didn't mention, am I unmuted? Okay, good. I didn't mention that the reorganization, but going forward into the next, it's not going to happen right away. There's going to be a, I'll probably get the name wrong, but like a special committee on reorganization that will be comprised of the chair, past chair, and chair-elect to look at the PPMs and like update all the things. And then after that would be the actual like launch of the reorganized committees. Did I get that right, Julia?
Yeah, I don't remember what the name of the thing. I think Special
Okay.
Committee on Policy and Procedure Manuals. I also want to note that in July we will have a new help coordinator, so we'll have someone doing the help series again to assist with this.
Sorry, I'm not sharing my screen anymore, but I was putting this down in the agenda for notes. All right, anything else? All right, well, thank you all very much for joining. And I look forward to seeing y'all when I next see you, whether it's at another meeting or at ALA, or in some other capacity. But I hope y'all have a good day.
You as well. Have a good weekend, everyone.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye now.